Rico McGee, another episode of the Sports Minute. There have been several reports that Deion Sanders is planning to leave, to dip out of Jackson State University to become the head coach of Colorado. Now, Deion Sanders has gone undefeated with Jackson State this year, going 11-0, and they just crushed Southern University in the SWAC championship game earlier today. Sanders overall has a 16-5 record with the Jackson State Tigers, led the program to their first black college national championship since 1996 and their fourth overall. He's even helped bring in the top recruit from last year's recruiting class to Jackson State. Meanwhile, Colorado finished their 2022 campaign 1-11. They just fired their head coach, Carl Durrell, after their first 5 games, and they've been led by Mike Sanford Jr. as the interim head coach. Ever since they moved from the Big 12 to the Pac-12, they just haven't looked good. They've only had 2 bowl game appearances and had 1 season where they just won over 5 games. So, Colorado was desperate. I think they saw what Deion Sanders was doing at Jackson State, and they want the same thing for their program. But that's beside the point. Let me just say this. If Deion Sanders leaves, I have no problem with him leaving. It would hurt, and I would like for him to stay, but he doesn't owe black culture anything, HBCU culture anything. Let me give you a quick backstory. Deion Sanders played college football at Florida State. His goal was to become the head coach of the Florida State Seminoles. That's where he played his college football. That's where he got drafted. Ultimately, he didn't get the job at Florida State. Didn't feel that he had the experience according to FSU. So he went to Jackson State, turned around the interest in black college sports, which was already growing, helped bring in some of the top recruits in the country to Jackson State that wanted to play for Coach Prime. Also sparked the brain for Grambling State to go after Hugh Jackson, Tennessee State to go after Eddie George, and overall played a big part in the growing popularity and the growing interest in HBCU culture and HBCU football. But Deion Sanders is a man and a human being first. And you got to understand, man, people are loyal to themselves. People are, people are loyal to themselves first. And there is nothing wrong with that. You got to put yourself in a position. A lot of the same people that are upset with Deion Sanders, if he does leave to go to Colorado, are the same people that'll quit their job for a better opportunity. So what are we mad at Sanders for? Deion Sanders is not, nor was he ever, the savior of HBCU culture. And if he does decide to leave, then it is up to us. It is up to us as HBCU alumnus, HBCU attendees currently, and HBCU advocates to continue to build on what Deion Sanders left behind should he decide to leave. It is not all on one man. It is not all on one man. I appreciate what he did and what he's doing, but it's up to us. This is not about X's and O's. This is not about strategy. This is just about a man thing. This is about human nature, and we got to understand that. And we got to support him as a black man, regardless of what he decides to do. To me, if he decides to leave, hey, listen, he's done enough. It would hurt. I would be hurt, and I would love for him to stay at Jackson State. But if he decides to leave, I understand that. But let me know what you think in the comments, man. I'm Rico McGee. This has been the Sports Minute, and as always, we'll see you in a minute.